a tutti. Yes, to everyone. I'll sing a line, just sing it right back. Pace bene, pace bene,
Pace bene, pace
Francesco, oh Chiara, oh Francesco, oh Chiara, oh Francesco, oh Chiara, oh Francesco. the last night, the last Tuesday, right, of 2024. And everybody's aware that we're all invited out to dinner tomorrow to Marie's place. And festivities begin at 3 o'clock. So I thought tonight we would just be very informal about our sharing, and not so much looking back, but looking forward. And I'm wondering, how are you looking at this new year? How are you approaching it? How do you feel about it? What are your concerns? What's happening in the world? What are you looking forward to in this world? Just anything that you would care to share. The floor is yours.
I find that I'm excited about our new year here for community with, all this influx of wonderful people lately, and that seems to be picking up momentum, and it just has this feel in me of like some kind of quiet excitement that it's rolling now, and let's see what it does this year type of feeling. So that's the prevailing feeling, and when it comes to the world, I'm practicing techniques to not think about that real quick.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
I was listening to the radio today, and I think they were in South Korea, and somebody was interviewing people that were out on the street, and then translating so we could hear it. One of the reporters was talking to a woman, and she said, well, this is all happening on the outside, but I don't have to feel this way on the inside. And I thought, that's right, we really don't have to feel that way on the inside. How I see the new year, like Tim, it feels hopeful. I don't like what's going on in the world, but I think our response to it is the important thing for us here.
Anyone else?
I ain't really thought about it, to be honest with you. Looking forward to seeing what God's gonna do this year.
Did you say God? Oh, thank you for mentioning. Does my heart good to hear that. I put
I
up
don't want you to look for signs and don't think that the imagining of them is particularly important, but there was an interesting astronomical sign this afternoon as the storm approached. I got caught when the riding when the clouds began to change and made it back home before.
You're
the
saying you were
rain.
riding your bike?
Yes.
Okay.
And got back home before the raindrops hit. But as I observed the storm and all the unusual display of lightning and whatnot for December, quite unusual,
Mm.
a strange thing occurred. In the western sky, through the haze, there appeared a bright light, and I looked, and realizing that the moon and the sun, from where we see them, are approximately the same size disks, or we wouldn't have eclipses as we do. And they became brighter, and as it got just so bright, it appeared as though the full moon was in the western sky at sunset. Now that doesn't and can't happen, we all know. And then it stayed that way for a long time and was peculiar to observe. And finally it brightened after quite a long time, so that it threw actual brightness sufficient for shadowing.
Someone could make that a great allegory, George, or metaphor for life, but I'll leave that to you.
Well, my opening statement was that I don't think much about signs.
Yeah, right. I guess you won't be commenting on it then. Anyone else? Well, to pick up on what Michael was saying, as you know, I'm addicted to Facebook, so I put a post up on Facebook today, and it said something like, it was a conversation between God and me. And God said, "You okay?" And my response was, I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm afraid about what's happening in the world around all of us. And wars and violence and destruction, and, you know. And God's response in the conversation, oh no, my response was, so, to God, what are you going to do about all this? And God's response to me was, it's going to ask you the same question. And my response continued something like, I can't do everything. God's response to me in the final comment was, no, you can't, but you can do something. I hate it when God says that. It's like,
Who was the translator?
Good question, George. No good answer. So I was just left with this feeling that as much as I feel overwhelmed at times by what's happening in the world, there's something I can do. I can't do everything, but there's something I can do, and something new that I can do. So in other words, not just, oh, I'm doing everything I can do. I'm doing the best I can do right now, and that's it forever and ever. No, that's actually not true. There's always something new that I can do. So that's my task for the new year, to figure out what the new thing is that I can do. Something. I don't know what it is. In the conversation, God wasn't kind enough to reveal to me what that was, but left me with the task to figure it out. And one thing I'd share with you tonight is just from the gospel, where Jesus says, don't be afraid. Because a lot of people are afraid right now. Whether it's in Ukraine, or whether it's in Sudan, or whether it's in Gaza, or the West Bank, or Syria, or Lebanon, or in the United States, wherever. People are afraid. Many, many people. It's easy. It's understandable. But I think Jesus' counsel is, don't give in to fear. Everybody feels fear, but don't let it consume you. And then he went on to say, trust in God. Oh, there's God again, Michael. God just made an appearance. Trust in God. That's his advice. That's his good counsel. So I thought I'd close tonight with a story that seems kind of silly. I don't mean it to be silly, but I mean it to be hopeful. And it has to do with the secret of being truly happy and living in this world such as it is. Okay. So it's the story of the laughing monk. And the story goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a monastery where a bunch of monks lived. And they got up early in the morning and they would pray and sing and chant. And they'd go throughout their day working hard, being very serious about their study. And for many years, they lived this way, this group of monks. And then one day, one of the monks began to exhibit deviant behavior. He began to chuckle. He even laugh during the prayer time. And one of his fellow monks elbowed him and said, "Hey, psst, we're praying, knock that off." And the laughing monk said, "Oh, sorry, okay." And before long he was chuckling and laughing again. And the monk on the other side of him said, "Hey, cut that out." He apologized, but before long he was chuckling and laughing again. So this went on for some days, and finally one of the brothers reported him to the abbot and said, "Father Abbot, brother here is causing a disturbance. He's chuckling and laughing during prayer time." The abbot said, "All right, send him in." So the laughing monk was sent to the abbot, sat down in the office, and the abbot said, "I hear that you're giggling during prayer time." And the monk said, "Yes, I know, I can't help it." And the abbot said, "Well, why can you not help it? What's going on with you?" And the monk said, "Well, to be honest, I've discovered something that just makes me so happy. I've discovered the secret of happiness." And the abbot monk said, "Really? I'd be interested to hear that. What is it?" And the laughing monk said, "Well, I'm not sure I can articulate it, but I will work on that." And the father monk said, "Okay, fine. Just try and control yourself, okay? Because you're disturbing the guys during the day." I said, "Okay, well." So the next day, they were in prayer, and sure enough, the laughing monk could not contain himself. He started laughing during prayer time. This went on for days, weeks, months, years. And everybody got sort of used to it. But during that time, people would take him aside and say, "Psst, I've heard you discovered the secret to happiness. I'd really like to know what it is." And the laughing monk said, "Well, I'm working on it. I'm not sure I can tell you what it is right now." And this went on again for more years. And everybody had their chance. "Psst, tell us what it is, will you?" Well, the laughing monk finally said to them, "I will tell you what the secret is I've discovered, but let's wait until my deathbed, and then I'll tell you, I promise." So everybody was content with that. The day came when the laughing monk was going to die, and he's there in his bed, and all the monks are gathered around him because they want to hear what the secret to happiness is. And finally one of them asks him, "Please tell us what the secret to happiness is before you die." And the old monk, the laughing monk, lifted himself up on his bed. I will finally tell you." And this is what he said. "The secret to happiness is," and he dropped dead. And the monks were very, very upset, all except for one, who stood in the back and started to chuckle. And that's the end of the story. We'll close with a song. todos los amores, love of all loves. I'll sing a line, just sing it right back. Amor de todos los amores. 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 At the close of this day, and the close of this year, we give you thanks for your great love for all peoples everywhere. Give us the eyes to see this world in a new way. Give us ears to hear the cry of the poor. And give us hearts that are open to love. May it be so. And add a little chuckle along the way. May it be so.